Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing horror movies based on true events. Now many people, such as myself, enjoy horror movies. And usually in movies, you always see it as fake, but if this happened to you in real life, it would no longer be funny. Today in this video, we're going to be going over several horror movies that were based off true people or true events, starting with Megan is Missing. Megan is Missing was a 2011 found footage psychological horror film. The film takes place 5 years earlier in 2007. The film is about a young girl named Megan who, after meeting up with a boy online, she goes missing. And the entire movie is about her being missing, what led to it, and then what eventually led to her friend, Amy Herman. Excuse me. Starting a launch investigation. The film is actually based on a series of true events and actually based on two real girls. Both Megan Stewart and Amy Herman were two real girls who in 2007 both went missing after meeting up with a guy. And as of today, both Megan Stewart and Amy Herman are still missing and no. The main reason I put these next three movies in the same category is they are all loosely based by one man. As Ed Gein, a prolific cannibal killer during the 1950s, inspired Norman Bates, Buffalo Bill, and Leatherface. With each of them, they each take a different part of Ed Gein's true life and true crimes. For Psycho, Norman Bates' character is obsessed with his mother, and after she dies, he tries to preserve her legacy, tries to preserve the rooms that she stayed in. This was very similar with Ed Gein, as during his early life, he had an overbearing mother who told him that women were things of the devil, and once she died, he began acting like her, wearing her clothes and doing all that stuff. For Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs, Bill was known for taking women's bodies and making furniture out of them, as only female remains were found in Ed Gein's home. And for Leatherface, they took Ed Gein's obsession with human skin. They would make into masks out of the woman's skin and would wear them while dancing outside of his house during a new moon. Similar to Leatherface, as he used human skin to cover his face as he was disfigured. The Girl in the Basement is a 2021 horror movie. It's about a man who kidnaps a girl and locks her in his basement. The true events that inspired this movie was based off of Elizabeth Fritzl and her father, Joseph Fritzl. As for over 20 years, Joseph kept his daughter locked in his basement after they got into an argument. He constantly essayed her, and they both had kids together. He kept the kids in the basement as well. And anytime they needed help, he would have them go out through one of the doors in the back, go up to the front, and be like, "Hey, these are their orphans. Hey, there's an orphan in our house." It wasn't until earlier around this year that he was arrested after they found out that he had kept his daughter in the basement for over 20 years. I didn't go into too much detail, but I would highly recommend checking out Ray William Johnson's channel, as he did a video about this guy. Shout out Ray. The Dentist is a 1996 horror movie about a guy who's a dentist. He goes around and kills people using dental tools and methods. The true man who inspired him was Glenn and Robert Engelman. As over a 30-year period, this man, who was disguised as a dentist, would kill people through anesthetic and other methods, and he was arrested and charged with up to 5 murders, but there's a possibility that he killed up to more than that. Sweeney Todd is a 2007 horror musical movie starring Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. The movie is about a barber named Benjamin Barker, who, after 20 years living in Brazil, is finally sent back to England, where he gets revenge on the people who exiled him to Brazil. In the movie, it is also shown that, with the help of his friend Miss Lovett, they take the people that they killed, take their bodies, and then make them into meat pies. This is based off the movie was loosely based off a stage play written by Stephen Sondheim, who wrote West Side Story, not West Side, Into the Woods, and West Side Story. But Sweeney Todd existed much earlier. In fact, it's believed to be one of the earliest examples of a horror serial killer. In the early 1400s, in France, there was a little meat shop. There was a bakery near a barber shop that was found, where it was known for their delicious meat pies and treats. The meat was human, as it was found out that 2 men, one was a barber, one was the baker, would kill people. The barber would slit the people's throats and then send them into the baker, where they would grind up the bodies and make them into meat pies. The reason that they were never caught was because they would always use tourists, because they were less likely to go missing. However, that would end up backfiring, as one of the tourists that they killed had a dog who would not stop barking, and once the police heard the dog not stop barking, they found out. They were both charged for their crimes, and they were both burned alive in the bakery to prevent the evil spirits from lurking in there. The Phantom of the Opera is a 1925 horror movie starring Lon Chaney and Mary Pippin. The movie is based off the 1908 novel by Gaston Leroux. However, the book is loosely based off many events that took place at the Paris Opera House, also known as the Palais Garnier, as many of the things that happened in the book happened in real life. For example, the chandelier scene where a chandelier fell did actually happen, as in the late 1800s, a 1-ton chandelier fell from the ceiling, killing 1 person and injuring 7 others. Another thing that was noted by is that Charles Garlier, who built the Opera House, had a series of tunnels made underneath it. Many people would claim that there would be a man with no face in there, thus the Phantom of the Opera was born. Which is also why we have the few scenes in the Phantom of the Opera that's underground with a boat. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications so that way you don't miss any of my future videos. I love you all so much, and bye.